Hi, I am Serafina King, the writer creator of Apples and Airplanes, the rom-com that will be coming out soon. And I'm doing this little series because if I was a filmmaker, I would want to know, how did this chick go make a feature film on an island? Like, we're not coming from, buco bucks here. So how did this even happen? And I'll lay it out from when I wrote it to who I contacted to this and that, whatever. But this first video, because I keep recording too long and then my phone says that the storage is full. So this first video is, I will tell you exactly financially how we did it. How do we do it? I'm sitting in it, our house. We took money out of our house. Our kids are not going to college anymore. They'll just be influencers. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. But, and credit cards. Yeah. I'll tell you how we ended up on Nevis in another story, but Nevis has a great film commission and they will give money towards you for housing and food when you come to film there. And so how did I stretch that? I didn't eat. When everybody on the crew and the cast went and they ate, this incredible grilled fish and veggies and all this other stuff. Myself, my husband, my father-in-law that was there working for free, any friends that came as actors that were working on it for free. Anybody that was there that knew where I was coming from, we didn't eat. So I could stretch that out and make it work for the film. At one point, somebody was like, you really need to eat. And I was like, you think? No, we would come back to my house or my place that we were staying in, and we'd have peanut butter and jelly or turkey sandwiches or whatever, protein shake. And it's called sacrificing, my kids stopped buying lunch at school and we're packing lunches, and we didn't go anywhere for spring break. And I watch dogs and I work at Target full time and I drive kids to school because I need VFX, and those people are wildly expensive. And that's how I did it. There's people that go to film school and they have a bunch of debt and they went to film school and they know way more than I know. And I didn't do that. So I used all the money that I dropped out of college, that I would have gone to college for, and put it into a film. But I have something to show for it. And I don't know if that's everybody's journey or what they can do. Balance transfers are really cool until they stop allowing you to do them. So we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about it. I was very worried about it. I was very, very, very worried about it because things that I could control budget-wise, we came in under budget. Things that were out of my control, they're out of my control. And I was very upset for a while about things. And I thought, you know what, I can't live like this because I'm miserable. I was absolutely miserable when we came back from filming. I mean, shitteth hitteth the fan, okay? There were so many things that were out of my control, and when I came back, it was just in my face. And January was terrible. There was multiple things we wrapped in December, and then the month of January was awful. And I just was like, I cannot believe that I did this to our family. Like, what was I thinking? But then I wrapped my head around it and was like, okay, you did a thing. You made your bed, now lay in it, We still have to go through post. I still have to pay post-production, coloring, editing, VFX, the composer, our music, like all of the stuff. You still have to do that. So frickin' figure it out. So I am figuring it out. I booked a movie, thankfully. So I'll be in Texas again in a couple of weeks, and I will make more money in one day than I do at 2 months working at Target, but that's okay. Because you do what you got to do, and there's multiple people that have come on board and have been like, the fact that you're like, oh, I'm going to work at Target and drive kids to school and watch dogs and do all of the things. I will slash my costs for you. And they've been so gracious and kind, and because I have a good work ethic, and I'm not going to not pay somebody what they're worth. I'm going to work my ass off to try to pay people as much as I can. So how do we do it? With no funding from anybody else whatsoever. This is it. You're looking at it. You are looking at it. And I went to a women's conference, like an empowerment thing, a couple years ago. And I remember I took a lot of things away from it. But one thing that stuck out of my mind and I thought was so weird, it said, don't ever use your own money for your thing. There's so many people out there that have money. That's the first rule. You never use your own money. And I thought, okay, first of all, I don't know these people. And second of all, if I don't believe in my own dreams, why do I expect Joe Schmo down the street to be like, oh, here's $1 million, go make your thing. I believe in you, Joe Schmo. And then I have to answer to Joe Schmo when I want to change things. And that's just not who I am as a person. So it was like, how am I going to do this? I'm also somebody that once I make a decision to do something, I do it. And I figure it out along the way. And just a little backstory, because I'll dive into each thing of it. I wrote the script in November of 2024. I showed it to some friends, my mom, various people. And I was like, oh, what do you think? Is it cute? And they were like, it's so funny. And I was reading this part and I was like, oh my God. And then this and this and this and whatever. Like, are you going to make it? And I was like, sure. Yeah. Okay. And I kind of shelved it and went about my life and was doing things. And I was actually working. So I was busy as an actor, doing that because I primarily am an actor. And then I went on a solo trip to Greece before my 42nd birthday. I'll be 43 next month. And when I was in Mykonos, I was at a coffee shop called Soulmates. It's incredible. And I had just left there and I had a ferry going to Naxos. And when you go, well, how can you do this without any money? Points. I don't know if you guys are into that, but I am. And also, I do okay as an actor. I mean, you guys probably don't know who I am, but when I do work, I do okay, So there's that. So anyway, I'm in Mykonos and I meet this person and I have my tripod in my backpack. And he was like, hey, are you a photographer? And I was like, no, I'm just on a trip by myself, taking pictures of myself. Anyway, we started talking and we ended up having coffee and I was like, he's like, you're traveling by yourself? And I was like, yeah, I don't know, I'm kind of a gypsy. I was like, I like to just, get and go and do things like that. And he was like, don't say you're a gypsy. Don't ever say you're a gypsy. He's like, you're an aristocrat. And I was like, okay. And he was like, I don't think that you know how much power you hold within yourself. And he was like, you have the power of Athena and you have this and that. And we need to go to this island and you need to feel this is where this island has all this energy and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I have a ferry in like 40 minutes and I'm going to Naxos. So I'm not going to an island. And he was like, you have to go there. I think you'll change your whole life if you go there because you'll feel how powerful you are and all these things. And I was like, well, I'm getting on my ferry. So I got on my ferry and I went to Naxos. And he was like, well, I'm going to message you while you're gone. And I was like, okay. And that's exactly what he did. He messaged me while I was in Naxos. And he was like, do you see the sunset? Go to this cliff and stand there and take in the energy and feel Athena and feel the wind. And I'm like, woo woo. And, I'm putting out moon water and all kinds of stuff. So I love this shit. So I'm standing on the cliff and I'm like, yes, like I feel the power of Athena. I can do anything. This is amazing. So on and so forth. I came back. I was so rejuvenated from that. If anybody is not solo traveling, you need to do that. And then I started working with Adonis, who is a master manifester. And I think these are the two things that really put me over the edge is what I'm getting at. I shelved the script. So I got back in May. I didn't even think about it. I decided to do it in late August was my first phone call to Gary on Nevis Island. And we scouted in September and went to the island. And then we started production in November. So I didn't actually really do any pre-production, the things I know now, until maybe like 6 weeks before we were leaving. It's wild bananas, friends. The thing of it is that if I was going to film on this island, I had to do it within a time period so it doesn't interfere with their tourism. And otherwise I'd have to wait like 8 months to do it again. And I knew that if I waited 8 months, I would talk myself out of it. Like, who the hell do you think you are that you're going to go do this feature film and so on and so forth? So we kind of just hit the ground running. I started working with a manifestor when I came back, and we were writing things down that I needed to fall into place, and I needed this to happen, I needed this to happen, and we were manifesting every day, and I was writing things down, and I'm putting out moon water, and I'm saying my affirmations, and I'm reaching, like, drinking the water the next day, and I'm doing all of the things. I also love the Lord. I love all the stuff. Very spiritual. I love like people and energy and all that other stuff, and things were just kind of like coming into place. And so I thought, what the hell? And I did it. So that is part one. But the nitty gritty of like, how much was this? And how did you do this? And so on and so forth. And your script and this and producers and who did you talk to and who did you do that? I will do videos like that as we go on. But this was just the first little thing of how did you do it? By the skin of our teeth is how. But, you only live once.